In this demonstration video, I'm going to show you how to establish an Eclipse or Rational Application Developer development environment for writing plugins for Tivoli Federated Identity Manager. The information required on how to do this is contained in the TFIM Developer Works wiki. This URL, www.ibm.com/developerworks/wikis/display/Tivoli Federated Identity Manager/home is the homepage for the TFIM Developer Works wiki. If I drill down into the TFIM wiki, link on the left-hand side, and then TFIM plugin development, you'll find the main article which we use for establishing this environment. This demo video is about showing you with real actions how this environment is established. I would encourage you to read this article first and follow along with this tutorial in establishing your own TFIM development environment. The environment I'm using to develop the plugins consists of two parts. First, I actually have a Linux VM with TFIM installed on it, and then I have my Windows desktop, which is where I'm going to do my development. On my Windows desktop, I have a stock standard version of the Indigo version of Eclipse, and on my Linux environment, as I said before, I have TFIM Runtime and Management Console installed. The first thing I've done is I've used a file transfer program to take all of the files and directories under the plugins directory under the TFIM installation root. So in my Linux environment, this is off the IBM TFIM plugins. I've taken all those files and directories and I've just pushed them across to a directory on my Windows system, in this case C:/plugins FIM622, and that's a direct copy of all of the plugins from the FIM installation directory. Next, I'll start Eclipse, and I'm going to pick a new blank workspace. There's nothing in this directory at all, it's completely empty. After Eclipse starts, I need to do some configuration to turn it into a TFIM development environment platform. This is done under Windows Preferences. The very first thing I like to do is under General Editors, Text Editor, I like to turn on line numbering. I use that all the time when doing development. The next thing you may wish to change in the preferences is the Java runtime version. This will depend somewhat on the Java runtime version you're using to run Eclipse and the version of WebSphere you're going to use. I like to set the version of Java that I'm going to use in my Eclipse environment to the same JRE that will be used by WebSphere. Here I'll show you how to do that. Under the Java tab, under Installed JREs, at the moment I'm using a default JRE on my system. I'm going to click Add and pick Standard JVM. I have to pick the JRE home directory. In this case, on this computer, I do have a WebSphere installation which I can use and point at the WebSphere JRE. It's actually part of a Rational Application Developer installation, but that's not so important. What's important is that it's essentially a copy of the WebSphere app server directory. So I'm going to pick the base v61 JRE. This is from WebSphere 6.1. The reason I do that is it will run then on WebSphere 6.1 and later. So if I go into base v61 Java JRE and pick that directory as the JRE home, it will pick up that JRE. I can just click Finish and then make that the JRE that will be used by this WebSphere. The only other really important thing to do in this environment is to change the target platform under plugin development. We drill down into plugin development target platform. You'll see the default target platform is the Eclipse environment itself. We need to add one for TFIM. So I'll just click Add here, start with an empty profile, change the target name to FIM622, and add a location, which is a directory. Pick the C:/plugins FIM622 directory. You'll see I've got plugins directories for earlier versions of TFIM as well, but in this demonstration I'll be showing you the FIM622 environment. Then click Next, see the list of plugins, and click Finish. One more thing before we leave this new target definition is under Content. I need to deselect the org.eclipse.osgi plugin. This is simply needed to make all of the TFIM plugins that you write resolve correctly. Having done that, I'll click Finish and assign that as the target platform for this development environment. The development environment is now ready to start authoring TFIM plugins. In the next series of show you